We are now officially at Hump Day, and it is awesome. So, yeah, nothing more to say than Happy Hump Day, everybody! Woo! Yes, okay. So, I actually learned some really good news the other day, but I didn't really want to share because it's family actually, who am I kidding? I've promoted my family several times, so yeah, I guess I probably should have shared this sooner. My youngest cousin on my mother's side of the family actually committed early decision to play lacrosse for Connecticut College. So you bet you're behind, I'm going to give my cousin a shout out. So congratulations, I love you, I really hope you're doing well. She's from Massachusetts. She actually, when I was talking about my grandmother who just visited this past weekend, my grandmother lived right near her. In fact, you could literally walk from my grandma's old place to where my cousin and my aunt and my uncle on my mother's side are. Not even a 5-minute walk. It was actually quite nice. Well, that does bring up quite a few good memories. I mean, my brother and my sister-in-law both graduated from Boston College. In fact, they met in Boston College. And the fact that we had so much family up there, and I didn't even describe all the family that's up there. There's another my uncle and my aunt, another uncle and aunt, and my other two cousins are both up in Wellesley. A bit of a jaunt, I guess. I'd say maybe about a half hour, somewhere in that general area. All I know is I've written so many thank you notes to both of them over the years, I know what their addresses are by heart. Darn thank you notes. I mean, I already said thank you to them in person. Why would I want to thank them again? Oh well. Honestly, I always thought thank you notes were so boring to do. And originally I started out with just having to write them. But as I got older, I then had to do the address to them. And the return address stickers that everyone uses now. Actually, I don't really mind it so much anymore. Partly because when you memorize the addresses of your family members, it's actually pretty easy to do. And, you guys have known me at least long enough to understand that, I'm not cruel, I'm not evil. So, of course, when I thank someone via thank you note, I'm always sincere and, thoughtful and all sorts of synonyms for good. But, yeah. Although, that does remind me, I do have to give a shout out to the mother, to my cousin's family in general, because they actually do a lot for us. They do. They visit, albeit slightly in a rude, uninvited type way, but they visit us and they're always on their good behavior, so I guess it's all good in the end. But, darn, I just lost my train of thought. Where was I? Oh, yeah. But my aunt specifically, back when my father was sick, back in March, she actually came down all the way from Massachusetts to see him at Robert Packer Hospital in Sayre. That's where he was staying. And literally, she spent the entire day with him. From not sunrise, but definitely early in the morning to sundown. And the cool part about it was, according to her, the day just flew by. She didn't even notice how long it was. So, it's a good day when you do something that can technically be considered boring or tedious, but, it makes the day go by so much faster. So there is always that. She actually also came down to see me back when I was in Gettysburg College and at Trinity Pauling. I mean, she's been really good to us, and let me just say to my cousin, if you're watching or not, you really ought to feel, I'm actually kind of jealous, because basically your folks are awesome. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against my folks in any way, shape, or form. I love my parents. The point is I'm trying to give you a compliment if you're watching and you can't already tell. So yeah, in a way, to my cousin and her family, my aunt, my uncle, and pretty much all my relatives up in Boston, this video is for you guys, and I really hope you guys are doing well. And see, they're going to be visiting in August. In fact, we're all going to be at a very special location, which I will most certainly show off at the time appropriate. But let's just say it's another part of Keuka Lake that I've yet to show you. Okay, fine, it's the cottage on the west side of the lake, the one that belongs to my grandfather on my mother's side. For those of you who are looking for a proximity range, you're looking about just around 3 miles outside of Hammondsport, past the Bully Hill Vineyards, past the newly refurbished Snug Harbor, and you just gotta go around 3 miles and you're there. That's really about it. Although that road can be very daunting. No, not because it's like well, technically it is dangerous, because Westlake Road on Keuka Lake, if you haven't been there, is literally on the side of a mountain. Basically, you have a mountain on your left or your right, depending on whether you're coming to or from Hammondsport, and basically a rail on your left and your right, again, depending on whether you're going to or from Hammondsport. And so, if you're driving fast or you're doing anything like that, it can be pretty dangerous. But the scariest aspect is, of all the places in the areas that I know, Westlake Road on Keuka Lake is the most notorious for having police officers everywhere. So much so that the speed limit is 35. That is all I go. I don't even try going 36. It's that, what's the word I'm looking for? That close-knit, I guess. What is the word for it? Darn, I guess safety precaution oriented. Let's call it that, because the cops or police officers are always there to keep everyone safe. And again, Westlake Road is very narrow, so yeah, I guess safety precaution oriented. Let's call it that. But I just realized that's probably going to be the title of today's video. Safety precaution oriented. Yeah, I'm going to make that the title of the video on YouTube. But that's really all I had to say about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be places where, police officers are everywhere to try and stop you. And I've been stopped by a police officer before. I mean, do I wish it happened? Of course not. But again, you reap what you sow. And I learned not to make whatever mistake I made ever again. So there's always that. And the more you learn from your mistakes, the more you grow in wisdom, I suppose. Although sometimes I wonder what it would be like if all my family members were closer together. I mean, my father's side's pretty close-knit, as I showed you before. In fact, I showed you the weekend of February 10th when we were celebrating my cousin Eli's birthday. I must have shown you like 90% of all of the family on my father's side. And I've also shown my mother. So there's that too. So you guys have been meeting a lot of my family, and you know what? I'm going to try and make sure you guys meet a little more in the future. There is something coming up that I'm definitely going to promote when it comes. So be on the lookout for that. And I guess since we're on the topic of safety, be on the lookout for anything hazardous that may come across throughout your day. Hey, you never know. I mean, people worry about safety for a reason. I just realized this may actually be a PSA. This is not a PSA. Like, this is not, I just want to make this clear, this is not a PSA. Not one of those, this is your brain on drugs. No, I'm not going to do that. Especially since I really didn't promote anything that's, like, extreme example-ish, I suppose. And as of right now, I am completely and utterly running out of things to talk about. And what can I say? Talking about anything on my full course menu takes a lot out of me to do. To be fair, though, there is one thing I did want to talk about, but I guess I will wait until a little bit later to do. Especially since it's another TP tale, and I just did one a few days ago. I'd rather keep them a little bit farther apart than what they are. But let's just say it involves the ultimate final exam that you can take at Trinity Pauling. I'll leave it at that. Although some of my brothers are wondering, wait, what ultimate final exam? Well, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about it. So, that's another thing to look forward to. Although, if you are any of my brothers and you do want to know what I'm talking about, you're always welcome to PM me. Speaking of which, please like, favorite, share, and subscribe. I could really use the support on YouTube. I am humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hopeful we'll have a wonderful hump day. And remember, if any of you guys ever want to talk or chat, I'll always be here to lend an ear. Or, of course, you can PM me. And like my brothers, I'll always have your back. So take care, everybody.